welcome back to my channel. So I'm just going to be doing an update on my accelerated BSN program. I've been getting comments, just people asking what do I do to study, what are some tips to getting into school, things like that. So I'm just going to update you guys on kind of how that's been going. If you want to apply for an accelerated BSN program, or you're looking to start soon and you're like, yo, what was it like? I got you. So if you're a new subby, hello you guys, there's so many of you now, I'm so sorry. Nice to meet you. And if you're a returning subby, I love you and you know that, duh. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, comment, like, share. Let's get into it. Okay, so just to break it down, I'm in an accelerated BSN program. This is basically a nursing program where you already have a bachelor's degree. You went to a 4-year school, you got your bachelor's degree, and you're now getting your nursing degree in 12, 16, or 18 months. My program is 12 months. That is 3 terms with 2 7-week, I do this every time. So it's 3 semesters, summer, fall, spring, and within those 3 semesters, I have 2 7-week terms. So I am changing classes every 7 weeks for 12 months. It's like 60-something credits, and then it borrows the other 60-something credits from my first degree, like my gen ed courses, and together that makes a 4-year BSN, Bachelor's of Science of no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's how you get your BSN. Some things that I have taken away from my bachelor's program that I can, pass off to you guys is, for one, don't psych yourself out, because everyone's telling you it's going to be hard, everyone's telling you it's going to be crazy, everyone's like, wow, oh my gosh. And if you make yourself go crazy, you will go crazy. My first term, I took health assessment, fundamentals, and transcultural communication. Those classes in itself were not hard. And I'm not a smart person, by the way. Like, I just want you guys to know, I work hard and that's how I get decent grades, but like, I'm by no means like a smart person. Like, I'm not like one of those like, nursing is not hard, because it is, but the actual material for the classes were not material that was hard to understand. Like, once it was taught, it was like, oh, it's kind of just like the foundations of like the simple things you need to know at the beginning of nursing school. Health assessment being just how to assess someone, how to look at them, how to pick out different information, whether it's information that they tell you or information that you see. That's what health assessment is. You're just mechanically learning how to go through physically assessing someone's body and finding what's wrong. Fundamentals is more so indication, so like things that you find that are wrong and like what does that mean. So like, for instance, if someone comes in, they are confused and they are old, that probably means they have a urinary tract infection. Or confusion can also mean I'm sleep deprived. So like, just taking certain from that data that you get from health assessment, now applying it. Okay, what could this be? Okay, so that is basically your first term. And then transcultural communication, how to communicate with different types of people, different races, different cultures. So all together, that's going to give you what you need in order to, okay, as soon as I walk in the room, I need to be assessing, I need to be able to communicate, and I need to kind of put together the data that I get to kind of figure out what's wrong. That was my first term. So the hard part about that is not the material. One, just the fact that it's new. Nursing school is so different. It's like any other school that you've ever known. So you have to learn how to be a nursing student. You have to learn how to study consistently. You will not pass if you're not studying consistently. I was definitely a student in my undergrad that would just study at the last minute and it would be okay. Like, C's get degrees and I'm here for that. Like, that was me. But for this program, I am studying every day. I have to. I have no other choice, or else I will get swamped and 7 weeks will pass like this, and before you know it, it's over. The courses are extremely accelerated. You learn a lot of information in so little time. Think about starting a class and then 3.5 weeks later, you're in midterms already. And then 3.5 weeks after that, you're taking finals. So you definitely want to keep up. You have to be consistently studying. So don't psych yourself out, because again, the material in the beginning, it's not tough. You just need a clear mind and you need to organize. Like, I would literally make a schedule from hour to hour exactly what I'm going to be studying. Like, every hour was, I even put, my boyfriend laughs at this, but on my like daily schedule, I even put in a time slot for a shower, because you're just so consumed with nursing, like you will forget to shower, you will forget to eat, you will forget that you have a life. So I literally had to put in hour to hour what I was going to be doing to make sure that I stayed on task and stayed on top of things. Otherwise, like, you'll blink and it's tomorrow, and then you'll blink and then it's midterm, and then you'll blink and it's finals, and then you failed. Congrats. Like, you need to be organized and you need to be on top of your time and how you're using it. So don't psych yourself out. Create a schedule. Get a planner, like the ones you write in. Like, get a planner, because you will have a lot to remember. and make friends, because like I have this group chat, and like whenever someone does something, they're like, hey, I just did this, and like you will be like, what, I just did these 7 other things, there's 8 things that we have to do, like so like make friends, get a gang, because like you will definitely need them. As far as my study strategy, so this is something that like you definitely need to like find out what type of learner you are. Some people are audio learners, some people are visual learners, some people are tangible learners. If you're an audio learner, you better be recording these lectures. I can learn through that, but like it's not my best way of learning. However, I do record every single lecture just in case. If you're a visual learner, look up videos on YouTube. Like look up videos on YouTube discussing processes. For health assessment, my teacher would post videos of her doing the actual assessment. To study, I did not do the assessment. I just watched her video over and over and over again, and then I was just like, oh, like, because I'm a visual learner. If you're a tangible learner, write things over and over again, rewrite your notes. Personally, the first term, I did everything. I listened to the lectures over again while I showered, while I cleaned the house, while I cooked, while I walked my dog, while I was driving. Whatever I was doing, I was listening to those lectures, because then it was like, okay, I'm now hearing the lectures twice, at least, in class and listening to it at home. After that, I would rewrite my notes. So I would go through the PowerPoints in my notes and I would just rewrite everything. So I'm now seeing the information twice and I am writing it. I'm having to look at the information, put it together in my brain, and write it on paper in a way that makes sense. So I am writing the information. And then lastly, I would do practice questions. Practice questions are your best friend. Like, you need to be doing practice questions. Like, I cannot stress this enough. I personally was failing fundamentals. On my first fundamentals test, I got a 66, and my program is 77 is passing. I got a 66 on my first test, and I was devastated because I studied so much. Like, I listened to the lectures, I wrote over my notes, I did everything that I thought I needed to do, and I still got a 66. I'm like, bro, what? So then I'm like, okay, like, what am I gonna do? I was like talking to my different nursing friends. I'm like, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Everyone gave me different answers. However, everyone said that they did practice questions. I'm like, all right, whatever. So my second test that I had, I'm like, if I do anything, I need to do practice questions. So I did a little bit less of writing notes. I didn't listen to the lecture at all, and I just did practice questions. And I jumped up to a 78 on my second test. My third test, I did only practice questions. I did not write the notes. I did not do anything. All I did was I read the PowerPoint, like I skimmed through it, and then I just did practice questions for like a week straight, and I got an 88. So I say all that to say practice questions is really your best bet. And I just started pharmacology and med-surg, and my pharm teacher was like, if you don't study at all and you just do practice questions, you could pass this class. So practice questions are really important. Let me tell you why. So for our undergrad and elementary school and middle school and high school, you learn information, you have to memorize it, and then you get asked questions like, what color is the sky? Blue. What does the body do? It moves. Like, it's just like clear cut black and white information. However, with nursing school, it's not like that at all. You will get 4, it's all multiple choice. You will get A, B, C, D. A and B will absolutely be right. C will be like, that could be right, and D will be completely wrong. So at best, you're always going to be able to eliminate D. You're going to get yourself to 3. You might be able to know that C is wrong. Like, you're going to be like, that could be right if this, but that's not the scenario. So you're going to have A and B, and every single time you're going to be like, is it A? Is it B? Is it A? Is it B? Every single time. With practice questions, 1, you are seeing how to answer these questions, how to decide between A and B, which one is definitely wrong and which one is definitely right. So the way that the questions are set up is it's scenario-based questions. You have a 59-year-old patient who comes in, they are confused, and when you do a health assessment, you notice that they are not able to take commands and their speech is slurred, and then you take a blood test and then this comes back. What's wrong with them? And confusion, I already told you, shows up in so many things, but there's always going to be one piece of information that's like, oh, because of this one piece of information, it's definitely A and not B. But like, we're not used to like applying information in questions. And so that's why practice questions help you so much, because they help you learn how to like get rid of the fluffy stuff, pick out what's actually important in the question, and then how to decide what's actually right. And then you also get the gist of like, okay, so now I know If someone's dehydrated, I'm always looking for these symptoms. If someone has a UTI, I'm always looking for these symptoms. You get to like learn exactly like, okay, once I see this, this, and this in a question, it's always going to be this answer. Always, like no matter what, because the body gives you certain clues as to what's wrong with it. So practice questions, like you need to get yourself either the practice questions that goes along with your book. That's the best way. That's what I did for fundamentals, and let me tell you, some of them questions was coming up on them tests. Or you can get yourself like a review book. I haven't picked one yet because they're like $60 and money, like what? As time goes on, I'm definitely gonna get like an NCLEX review book because I'm gonna need it to take the NCLEX. But for now, Kyrie, no. But for now, I haven't picked a review book yet that I like completely like. I've just been getting the practice questions that go along with the perspective books. Okay, I keep like getting up and going to do things, sorry. But I think another important thing for me that I had to learn was take time to rest. When my program first started, I was pretty much like a crazy person, and I would just like go to, so I was in school from 9 to 6 most days a week, and then 7 to 7 on the other days. So that was like scattered out my schedule Monday through Friday. So we didn't really have much time at home to study besides like Saturday and Sunday. So I was pretty much a crazy person. Like I would be up all the time, studying all through the night, in school all through the day, and like just getting tired. Like I like visibly like looked like something was wrong in life. Like what is happening to you? And I didn't understand the importance of resting. I will say in the beginning of my program, I didn't really know what worked best for me, so resting was not really like an option because I was still trying to figure out like how to maximize my time, which I did not know how to do until obviously I realized that if I just do practice questions, I'll be okay. I don't have to do all that crazy stuff. But rest, because if you don't, you will not be effective. Like I would study all the time and get no sleep, and I would end up having to study more because I was tired and not effectively studying. Whereas like if I would just like study and sleep, it's like when I'm actually studying, I'm being a better student, or I'm being more efficient because I'm not tired. Same thing for class. Like you don't want to be tired in class. Like that is where you're getting all your information from. So take time to rest, get a good night's sleep every night because you're gonna need it. My last sort of bit of advice goes kind of towards clinical, and I would say be yourself, or if yourself, scratch that, just scratch that. Be out of yourself because my first clinical experience I did not like. My first 7 weeks I hated clinical. I dreaded going to clinical. By the way, clinical back then was 8 hours. It's now 12 hours, but I hated every second of it because the nurses were like so annoyed. They weren't annoyed with us, but they were good off us. Like they didn't have to have us around. Like we were kind of like slowing them down. And I interpreted that as like, okay, I'm just gonna like stand in the back and like not bother anyone. But it's like I missed out on a good experience because of that. So be out of yourself. Like if they're acting like that, cool, still do you. Like you paid for this education, ask your questions, ask to do things, be vocal, and like brush it off your shoulders. Like there's so many times where I came home, like called my friends and my boyfriend, like, yo, like she was being so mean, like she said this to me, and like now I don't even want to go back. And it's just like, bro, like understood, but like you only have 7 weeks. Like you need to brush it off. You need to keep going, keep talking, keep asking questions, keep asking to do things. You're a nursing student. They know that you're learning. If you mess up, like it's, who's calling me? If you mess up, it's okay. At least in the first session. Like you're never going to be doing anything so important that like will kill a patient in the beginning. But yeah, so that was my first 7 weeks in a nutshell. Things that I've kind of taken away, things that could possibly help you guys. I hope I did answer all of your questions. If you have any, if you have more, just leave them down below. Girl, I got you. I will reply. And yeah, I'm in week 2 of term 2, taking pharmacology and med surg, which everyone was like, oh my god, you're gonna die. But like, you know, of course I went in like, it's all right. But literally I was just like, everyone says that and I'm like, cool. Like I'm going in like it's any other class, and like so far it's been okay. So yeah, I will absolutely be updating you guys later about how I study for pharm and med surg, because I know those are the 2 classes that take people out of nursing school. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Lay.
The best things in life don't come with a price, that's the word of the wise. Your love is surprise. Humongous inside, sparks light in my eyes. Get enough